And so I want to be a reliable teacher. I'm not out here to compliment every single piece that's sent in. I don't have time for that. And if I'm a reliable teacher, it means that I am always promoting the most efficient learning experience and exchange of information. So I don't want to, be the type of teacher that's like, yeah, I'm just going to go with it. I take my teaching seriously. Many people don't take me seriously because, it's just a YouTube teacher, and that's okay. Everyone has their own sense of, where the bar is when it comes to quality. But I take my teaching very seriously, and I want to be able to have, credentials that actually speak for me. And so the part of the credit I get is that I don't pander, and I don't really compliment for no reason. Like, if there's something to compliment, I'll say it. But if there are some issues that I would rather focus on for the benefit of the student, but believe that I will. There's nothing that's more important to me. So a lot of people have been bringing that up, that I never really say anything. I always have something to complain about and never really have anything nice to say. It's like they saw a critique channel and said, hey, that's where I can go to get nice compliments. That looks like a great spot to get compliments. In which world is a art critique channel that has the word critique plastered all over? In which world is that the best, most efficient place to go and get some compliments? Like, come on now. And at the end of the day, teaching people is a gamble. You don't know if that sequence of words you used is going to stick. You don't know if it's going to make a difference. You don't know if the information traveled right and landed in a good spot in their brain. And I hope that's what I've been doing all these years. But especially lately, I've been really trying to perfect my teaching and change the way I teach in a way that is anybody who can hear it will understand. So that's really what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on, I can tell when things are just in the way. So it's a question of, do you want to have more proficiency visible in your work, or do you want to show and idolize, and nothing's wrong with it, nothing, but do you want to idolize your current stage and just create art with that and sell art with that? Are you okay with your current skill set for tattoos? Are you okay with your current skill set to be, to print t-shirts with your design, to sell stickers with your design? It's just a question of, are you okay with what you're making? If you're not, and you're not, and you know that there's things you need to work on, there's a certain sacrifice you have to make, not only in your time of day, but in the way you think about your art. And the pride you have to put away in order to just accept that, okay, you know what, I'm not good at this thing. And if I want to get better, the first thing is just to say that I'm not good at it. Some people say that I should be teaching with a compliment sandwich. And in this age of narcissism, where everything is about the individual, not about the community, everything is individual based, I think that's the sickest thing I've ever heard. And I know they wouldn't say it to a male artist teacher, but you should be nicer. It's like, I wasn't even being mean. I was teaching. I have a certain sternness that I have when I teach because I take what I do seriously. And so women cannot, take things seriously and also be nice. No, they have to be nice first, serious second. And so that's why I feel like lately I've just been trying to address these things as justly as I can. And I don't feel like it always comes from a good spot where people ask me to do compliments while I'm teaching a class. Like, hey, you should be complimenting me. It's like, do you go to your professors at school and just ask them to compliment you? That's insane. And that feels the same. It's icky. It feels icky as a teacher to hear that. It's like, excuse me? Like, you want me to, what is this? Why are you seeing a mother when you see me? I'm not your mom. I'm your teacher. There's like a certain level of distance between the two of us. And the only thing that connects us is the knowledge. And you should want that. You should want that out of your teacher. You shouldn't always be trying to break the teacher-student relationship because you want a reliable narrator, right? You want a reliable teacher that isn't going to lie to you. This information is not biased. I'm not here to pander to your emotions and say something nice that a friend would say or a mom would say. I'm here to make a serious change in your life, like a doctor would. A doctor doesn't have to compliment you, and a doctor doesn't. So this is just me just kind of examining your art and giving it all I have. There's some people, just because they have a phone and can leave a comment, feel like they are entitled to these silly opinions that I think are just so out of touch. You're one of the most honest teachers I've ever met. You give real advice to help people excel. Real is rare. Thank you so much, Kylie. Thank you. I appreciate that. It really is so refreshing to think that what I'm saying isn't falling on deaf ears, even if it's just a small number of the people listening who understand what I'm doing, because I know that people do very easily lean to the idea that I'm a mean person, but they don't know me personally, and I feel like I do try to be a nice person. When it comes to teaching art, I'm so serious about it. It's like a life or death feeling, and one of the things I really wanted to do, had I not been a teacher, is I would have been a doctor. I've always wanted to be a doctor, and I don't know, art just took over instead, and so I became an art teacher. But I feel like it's still in there, that same kind of desire to fix things and desire to help. So maybe one day people will stop saying this weird thing, this icky comment they leave. And you know the kind of person leaving those comments is difficult to talk to all around in their life. Like, you know, that type of person is hard to cooperate with in any level, because they cannot accept information until their ego has been stroked. Like, the information won't be allowed in their brain until an offering is offered at the temple of their ego, and then only then will they accept the information. These people are gonna delay their art development for such a long time. This is just my experience from my job directly. Like, this is a first-hand experience. It's the mindset of those students. I subscribed exactly because your critiques are honest and not fluffed up. You're very welcome, Natalie. Thank you so much. Thank you. Remember, I'm not here to be mean to you, and I'm just talking directly to them now. I've never really done that, so let's do that. I'm not here to hurt your feelings. Why would I be wanting to hurt your feelings? Like, why would I want to hurt your feelings? I care about the little characters you've got running around in your brain, whether or not we can see them properly in your drawing. Like, I actually care about that. Why do I care about that? Because I think artists are important. I think them staying artists and drawing is really important for the world. I don't know what it is, but some alien put me on this planet, or I got reincarnated, or a future version of me allowed me to enter this multiverse and has been guiding me. I don't know, but something thinks that art is really important in this era, in this age where art is literally being taken from us by force, our own art. So I feel like being a teacher, an art teacher, was better. Maybe my higher self felt like that was more important than being a doctor. So I'm just here trying to help you guys get better at what you're doing, which is drawing characters and drawing, period. And drawing. And it makes you better people. It makes you nicer people. It makes you more compassionate. It leads you into watching movies and reading books, which also make you more compassionate, which I think the world needs more of. At the end of the day, I'm doing this for your benefit. I'm doing it for free. And I'm doing it at the cost of my health on days that I'm tired, and I'm making time for it, and I'm not really getting back much for these hours that I provide. But this knowledge is the fact that I've been gifted it and given it by some, I don't know what, and developed it, has made it so that I feel like I'm duty bound to share this knowledge with you. This is my calling, and this is important to me. So I'm not here to be mean to you. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to challenge you. I really don't know you. And leaving comments, you spend your whole hour leaving a long ass comment about how I'm the most miserable person in the world to have ever critiqued art. It's so it's so insane to me. First of all, no one has ever helped me in my life that I felt like I needed to spit at while they were helping me. It's just a really, really weird sensation seeing and reading that. It's just really, really weird to me. But anyway, directly to those people who leave comments like that, one day you'll get older. You will also look back, hopefully, and cringe, because that means you've done a lot of growing up. Nothing is better than that, because you know you've gotten better. So if you look back at your life and you cringe at your child self or your past self, it means not only have you developed, but you've evolved and you've changed. You've picked the good parts, got rid of the bad parts. If you look back at yourself with compassion too, it's just as important to have a balance. It's a good thing to look back and see a big difference between yourself and now and yourself back then. So I hope you do. I hope that particular person who left that comment, I hope they do look back and cringe, because why did I need to leave that comment? You know, what was so important about my ego that I needed to express that particular comment to a stranger offering their knowledge for free at no cost to me? And for those who hear my voice and hear a rude person, I think you're hearing a woman not being nice, and I think you're expecting a woman to be nice when they talk, and I think that it needs a little bit of work on your end. If your ears expect a certain personality just because someone is a woman, you need to reassess kind of what you think a woman is and what you think a man is and what you think people should be like based off their gender, which is none of your business. And I actually think I'm really nice. I actually think I'm kind of a dork. And if I were to just talk about myself a little bit, the risk of sounding like I'm self-centered, but if I can talk about myself, I think I'm kind of a nerd and a dork, and I'm not really out to assassinate people's egos. I don't make a point of that. I'm not trying to be a champion. This is just what I'm good at, and I'm sharing it, and I'm serious about it. And it's why my voice may sound a little stern, but it's most definitely not because I've, an ego, or because I have fun wailing on noobs. I love noobs. I love noobs because it never gets old. The shit they do, the mistakes they make, never gets old, ever. It's always fun. Seeing the ways noobs can mess up fundamentals is actually extremely fun for me, because it's like, wow, I did not know you can make a mistake like that. But it's so cool giving them that fundamental, and then, oh my God, the enjoyment I have when I paint a diagram and someone's like, whoa, you just made that click. Like that right there is why I teach. So again, I'm not your enemy. I'm not the bad guy here. The bad guy is not you either. The bad guy is the part of you that's refusing to allow other people to help you. It's hard to separate ego from the art you make. It really is. Because this is something you made and you're offering it to the world, and here comes Istebrak fucking slapping it down. I guess that's where it comes from. But remember, I'm not slapping it down. I'm raising it up, and I'm showing you how much further you could have thrown that ball.